Today's show, ladies and gentlemen, is all about you guys in my comments section. Anything that you want to know, we're answering it. We're talking about it on our Q&A version. We got a lot of fun topics here. Producer Reed's going to surprise me with some as well. I am your host, ladies and gentlemen, Joey O'Donohue. Welcome into the special edition of the Browns Report. Are you a diehard Browns fan? Just like me? Just like most of our fans in the channel? Then join the channel, join the party, subscribe right now if you love the Cleveland Browns and you're a diehard fan till the day you die. That means Cleveland Browns football for life. Even when they anger us, we give you content no matter what. Let's get into our first question from Dolphin X, who sent in a $10 super chat. This was us talking about new offensive tackle that Cleveland signed, and Dolphin X said, yes, a new O-lineman. Now can we get a new quarterback, please? Flacco moves like he's glued to the turf. Dillon Gabriel or Shedeur Sanders, please. I don't care at this point. I'm with you, Dolphin X. Watching Joe Flacco, he just can't extend plays with his legs. It's something that we're lacking. And it's hurting our play calling and ability to do stuff with our offense. You look at the depth chart, Gabriel and Shedeur are just waiting to get their opportunities. I think it's only a matter of time before Flacco is benched. I'd say after the London game in week 5, if there's 5 straight weeks of lackluster offense, that's a reasonable evaluation to say, Flacco, you're going to the bench. And Dillon is up next on Cleveland's depth chart. Dillon probably gets 4 to 6 games, see how he does. And Shedeur Sanders can finish off the season. I'm with you. I just want to see something different, something exciting in Cleveland at quarterback play. There's also the element we lose of option plays. Like when Flacco goes to hand it off, you'll notice every single defender goes with the running back. They know he's not a threat to pull it and run. It limits what we can do. It limits the play calling. And when you watch him try to roll out of the pocket, it's kind of funny. Like he's just slow. He, like you said, glued to the turf. He has to stay in the pocket, and it's hurting the Browns' offense. So I think eventually we'll see a new quarterback behind the helm. Moving on to Treg Meyer. Said, should Dylan Sampson get more reps? #Browns. Good question. We saw him get a lot of reps in week 1. He was essentially the lead back. But since Judkins came into the mix, it's all Quinshawn. He has taken over that role. I think we could see Sampson get more reps. Absolutely. I don't think we need to be using Ford and Sampson equally. I think Cleveland trying to get rid of Ford or trade him for a 6th or 7th round pick. So, yeah, I'm with you. Dylan Sampson, I think, should get slightly more reps. But Judkins is the RB1. That's clear. Sampson shouldn't take over his role. Moving on. Speaking of Quinshawn Judkins, we've got Studkins10 wants to know. The Browns have the best defense in the league and worst offense in the league. Great take here. You could certainly make this argument. I don't think their offense is dead last in the league. There's some teams that are pretty trash. And the defense is locked top 3 right now. I think they do have the best argument to be the best defense in the league when you look at it. But how funny is this juxtaposition, this contrast? It's like nothing we've ever seen in the league where this might be a true take, that our defense is the best in the NFL, but our offense looked like the worst. Numbers-wise, the defense is the best in the NFL. They're ranked first in total defense. They give up the fewest yards per game. The offense is ranked dead last in yards per pass. So there's numbers that back this up, Studkins 10. What do we think in the comments, folks? This Browns juxtaposition that we've got going on. Rate the Browns offense and the Browns defense in the comments. On a scale of 1 to 10, what do you rate our offense? What do you rate our defense? Drop those numbers in the chat. Specify offense and defense. I want to see where we're at, folks, in terms of our Browns O and D in the chat. Before we get into more questions from you guys, I'm excited to tell you that today's episode is sponsored by Prize Picks. You and I make decisions every day, but on Prize Picks, being right can get you paid. Don't miss any of the excitement this season on Prize Picks, where it's good to be right. Honestly, I'm just so hyped that Cleveland Browns football is back on Sundays, ladies and gentlemen. All is right with the world, and I'm big into daily fantasy with Prize Picks. I'm obsessed with it because it makes all the games more entertaining. And before the Browns play, I lock in on all my players in my lineup and their player projections. Prize Picks is simple to play. Just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections. If you get your picks right, you could cash in. And PrizePicks invented the flex play, which means you could still cash out if your lineup isn't perfect. You can double your money even if one of your picks doesn't hit. I'm hoping my picks hit for this week. But download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. You try to make some money just like I am. My lineup for the week, Sam Darnold, more than half a passing touchdown. Aaron Rodgers, more than half a passing touchdown. Jalen Hurts, more than half a passing yard. Yes, you read that right. PrizePicks giving us an awesome deal to put in your lineup. And finally, Quinshon Judkins, more than 58.5 rushing yards. He's done it every week, and every week he started. So be excited for the rookie. Download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks. It's good to be right. All right, next question coming in from Moose. Loves Browns with the dog profile picture. Hashtag Browns. How many sacks would the Cleveland Browns get on Jared Goff? Good question. Something to look out for is the Lions' offensive line going to be fully healthy? I know they had one injury last week. We'll keep you posted. But Garrett's off to a tear. He's tied second in the league in sacks. And our defense as a whole is looking like the best in the league. I think they can get through to Jared Goff. And I'm going to give the Cleveland Browns 3.5 sacks on Sunday. Decent number. Miles gets home again. And there's a lot of other players you got to account for. Could we see Mason Graham get a sack? Aiden Huntington. Malik Collins, who had one of the best interior win rates in the league. So get ready, because our defensive line is the real deal. And I think we get to set to Goff at least a few times, folks. It's going to be exciting. Robust plays. What week do you think our first rookie will start this year? Well, we've had a lot of rookies start this year, robust plays. But I think he means rookie quarterback. If that's the case, I think Dillon Gabriel gets in the game week 6, 7, let's say. After week 5 in London, that's enough sample size to say the offense still sucks. Gabriel is next on the depth chart, as you see. And I think we literally, realistically, will see him after that week. Now, that's contingent upon the offense looking how it's looked the past 2 weeks. For some reason, Flacco starts balling out and enters the fountain of youth. That changes everything. But from what I've seen, just when you watch the football, when you analyze it, he's slow. He's overthrowing guys. He's not really taking shots. A lot of his completions are short. It's not a fun offense to watch in the passing game. So realistically, I do think that he heads to the bench relatively soon. Give me week 6. Laserbeam says, I get we are rebuilding, but is there a chance we make the playoffs? Well, those are kind of two contrasting concepts, and I get why you're saying it, because what are the Browns doing? The defense is a Super Bowl defense. That's not an overstatement. It's true. A good offense with the Browns defense behind them would be a contender right now. So I don't want to say that we're rebuilding, because when you have a defense like this, you should capitalize. Who knows how long it'll be playing well like this? Who knows how long you'll have this unit in one? So there's that, but there's also a lot of young rookies on the offense that Cleveland could be rebuilding with. Maybe that's why you're saying that. But I would like us to turn into win now mode, because defense wins championships. Help out our defense by doing something on offense that's better. So, yeah, there's absolutely a chance we make the playoffs, Laserbeam. The back half of the schedule is easier, and our defense is a real contending defense. So get ready. We'll be calling every single game. I think you could see Cleveland get above 500 if the defense plays the way it has been, and they change something offensively. Next up, we got Zach Sports Guy. Would you cut Ford? He did take the cut, and it is always good to have extra depth. I think the second part of your statement is true. Having extra depth, freeing up a roster spot would help. I would see if we could get something for Ford first, because I think a team might give a 6th or 7th for him. This running back needy teams right now. Washington just lost Eckler for a while. there's teams that need some running backs, and Ford could maybe provide a service to them. If you can't get one, they're still using Ford a little bit here and there, but I wouldn't mind freeing up a roster spot because there's other positional needs that Cleveland has. We desperately need offensive linemen. We desperately need cornerback depth. We could use another wide receiver. So, yeah, I would cut Ford if there's a guy Cleveland sees they can go get that can make a bigger impact. Ford is not impactful for us right now, not like he used to be. Joshua Miller, everyone's favorite Cade York fan. Today he's asking, will Schlesinger or JOK be the green dot in 26 if JOK comes back? That is a pretty good question. When we see both of them out there together, Joshua Miller, things are going to be even scarier. Get ready, get excited for the Browns linebacker room next year, folks. Schlesinger and JOK on the field at the same time? My goodness. As Stephen A. once said, don't get me fantasizing and salivating about what could be. Schlesinger has looked like one of the best defensive rookies in the league so far. He's everywhere on the field. His pursuit's incredible. He's just a ball hawk. Whoever catches the ball, Schlesinger's there. We saw him blast Jordan Love for an 11-yard sack. It was electric. Getting both of them next year, Josh, that's going to put the cherry on top of the Cleveland Browns defense. I just want us to get more secondary help still. So I'm glad you're asking about it. Get excited, folks. Ninja Cow, a Browns fan faithful. CJ Stroud is struggling in Houston. Would you trade Shedeur Sanders for CJ Stroud? Wow, what a question. But that's not a straight-up deal, Ninja Cow. There's no way, no how the Houston Texans do that deal. I don't think CJ Stroud's on the table for them. Yeah, he's struggling right now, but I've not heard any rumbling that he's a trade candidate out of Houston. And if he was, it's going to be a lot bigger of a price than our third-string quarterback at the moment. So give me a real package, Ninja Cow. Like, what would we have to give up to get CJ Stroud? It would be a lot. They still consider him a young franchise quarterback. They're not turning from him anytime soon. Now, if you come back at the end of the year and Stroud is up for grabs, now I'll listen to you. But also, let's just never trade for any more Houston Texans quarterbacks ever again. It doesn't work. So, no, I'm not trading for CJ Stroud because it's going to be a haul. And last time we gave up a haul for a Texan quarterback, he's on our bench getting $200 million. Literally, Josh Cribbs, the real Josh Cribbs, asking a question, wants to know, how many points do you think the Browns score against the Lions? Great question here. I've talked about how great the Browns defense is. I've talked about how poor the Browns offense is. To win this game, you got to hit 20. Do I have faith that Cleveland's offense can do that? No. I'm going to say they put up 14 points. 17 with a Schmidt field goal. But that's my prediction, is you're looking at that range. So you're asking your defense to do a lot, again, to stop that Lions offense that's been ridiculous so far in 2025. You're going to have to hold them to the teens, which I think is a lot to ask. If you held them to 20, that should be enough for a decent offense to win the game. Defense and offense are going to have to work hand in hand here, folks, because I think the Browns put up 14, if they're lucky, 17. But you tell me, how many points will the Browns score versus the Lions this Sunday in Week 4? Comment a number down below. I would love to know where the Browns fans' heads are at. I gave you mine. Tell me yours, please. Thank you so much for tuning in, folks, to this Q&A special edition of the Browns Report. Go ahead and follow me on X at JoeyO70. I answer questions on there, so if you do want to be part of Q&As, you can always just ask me questions on Twitter. I'm very active at JoeyO70. Thank you so much for watching, folks. We appreciate all of you that tune in and listen and subscribe to the Browns Report. Thank you, and we will see you very shortly here on the show.